Hi, Tanna Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about talking to your children. Really talking openly and honestly to your children. Now, I don't have kids of my own, but I have two nieces that I was practicing my parenting on. Because when I was younger, I wanted four kids. I wanted to be married by a certain age. I wanted to have some time to be married without kids. And then I wanted to have four, like 2 years apart. And I wanted to be the cool mom and make everything fun for them and just support them and tell them they could go do anything and just let them loose and see what they would create in the world just from giving them as much love and support as I could. And the way my life turned out, I didn't have them. And I reached a point where I was like, I don't want them, I'm over it. Because I did help raise my nieces. I have two nieces that are amazing, and I could not love them more if they were my own. And I call them my babies I didn't birth. And they know that. They know they're like my kids. And my older niece had her own baby last year. So she is a year old, and she's an amazing mother. And it's been so wonderful to watch them grow and develop. And just based on my childhood experience, I had a great childhood. I had, there were some elements in my family that were not healthy for me, certain people that I've had to step away from as an adult for my benefit, for my well being. But my parents are amazing. My brother is amazing. And I did have a really good childhood for the most part. But we had some rough spots. There was stuff going on health wise and substance wise with a couple of my family members. And my mom was always trying to protect me. So I was always being sent off to a neighbor or a relative. I just stayed with my grandparents for 2 weeks once, and she wouldn't tell me why. And so I didn't know what was going on. And that was very frustrating. And, one of the times I came home and my brother wasn't here. He'd been sent off someplace for treatment. And again, they didn't really tell me what was going on. I'm like, what the heck? So it was really difficult to deal with all of that. And right after all of that kind of calmed down, then my grandfather died. The grandparents that were taking care of me all the time, those are my father's parents. And right after things kind of got stable in our family, then my grandpa passed away. And I wasn't allowed to go in the hospital and see him when he was declining. I remember my parents took me to the parking lot of this small hospital here, and he waved through the window. And that was the last time I saw him. But my grandparents' neighbors had kids that I used to play with, and there was a boy who was a few years older than I was, and he was informed of everything going on, and so he was saying things to me based on what he had heard, and he got to go to my grandfather's funeral, but I didn't. And that always pissed me off. I'm like, what the hell? This is my grandfather. And I wasn't pissed at him specifically, but I was just mad. I didn't understand why my family was always like, oh no, don't say anything. And oh, she won't understand. Oh, protect her and keep her over there. And when I got older and started studying self help and wellness, I got my first job with Real Benefits at Capital Records. I found out that I had therapy available to me. So I thought, I'm going to go to therapy and try and unravel all this stuff and kind of figure it out. And it was really interesting and enlightening and really helpful. And I went to all my family members to ask them about specific times in my life, about what was happening. And what was interesting was my dad and my brother were both like, I'll tell you what I can remember. But they were willing, which was really helpful. And I had one other family member that was like, you don't need to know. So that is the one that I have stepped away from, who's just kind of toxic and unhealthy. So unfortunately, they were not willing to help. And so I was like, okay, I'll just deal with where I'm getting the help and support that I need. But my point is, I would have understood what was going on. Even if I didn't understand, it would have been nice to just be informed. And because of this, when my nieces were growing up, I was really open and honest with them about everything. I talked to them as soon as they were able to talk and have a conversation. I stopped talking baby talk to them and I talked to them like I'm talking to you. And much to my brother and his wife's dismay sometimes. Because I was a little too open and honest with them, but I just felt like it was the best thing. Whatever was going on with my life, if there was something going on with some guy I was dating and they had met him and they asked how he was, I would be honest and tell them what was going on. And they understood, they got it. And they grew up to be amazing women. And I think that I think my brother and his wife were pretty open and honest with them as well. But I tried to be really, really open and honest. I wanted to always share with them what was going on. I didn't want to hide stuff from them because I knew they would understand. I knew they'd be able to handle it. And this is what I want to tell you. Kids understand more than you know. They can handle more than you think they can handle. And, I'm not criticizing my parents or anyone in my family for what they did or what they didn't do. I'm just sharing how it affected me and how I decided to move forward in my life with any kids that I was involved with. I did a lot of babysitting when I was a teenager as well. My mom was a nursery school teacher. So I got a ton of business because the teacher's daughter, they trusted me, and I was always busy, and I was rich in high school because I was always babysitting. And I was like this with other kids. I mean, obviously, I was careful because it was other people's kids, but I didn't talk baby talk to them. If they were old enough to speak and have a conversation, I talked to them and I listened to them. This is really important. You've got to listen to them because they have things to say, they have ideas, and they have opinions that are valuable. And it matters what they think and what they say and what they want to share and their ideas and their viewpoints. And, there are always videos of kids saying the darndest things. There was that TV show, Kids Say the Darndest Things, because they do. They're really, really honest and they'll just say whatever's on their mind. And sometimes it's something so profound and enlightening just because it came out of the mouth of a child who was speaking their truth. And I think that children who've been supported to speak their minds and who've been informed about what's going on in the world around them in their own lives and who are surrounded by people who share openly and honestly with them, I think they're better able to be in touch with their own feelings and share what they're feeling and be in touch with their own ideas and share their ideas and express them more accurately and more openly and more regularly. So, and this video was kind of spurred by an experience that I had a couple months ago. My brother has this annual party during the summer, and I was standing with him in his kitchen, and one of the people said, well, were you two close growing up? And my brother's 10 years older than I am. And I've always adored him and felt really close to him. And I always thought when I was little, he was so much fun. And we just always had such a great time together. And, as adults, I feel super close to him. And especially now, he's definitely my support and my ally in my mom's care and everything that I'm doing for her. But this person asked if we were close growing up. And I was like, oh, yeah, we've always been close. And my brother said, yeah, I looked at her like a toy to play with when we were little. And I was like, what? I I never knew that, and it's funny because I have an older sister that I'm kind of estranged from, but she expressed the same thing, like, "Hey, you're a real live doll to play with," and I'm like, "I'm a person." But I thought that was really interesting, and I was kind of taken aback. And it kind of explained the mentality of a lot of people in my family because I have cousins. We don't have a huge family, but I have cousins, and I'm not really in touch with them either because they're all way older than I am. And no one ever really viewed me as an adult. I'm over 50 now. And like I've been taking care of my mom for 14 years now by myself, and no one views me as an adult or respects me as a person or what I do or how I do it. This is why I've had to step away from them because they still felt like they had the right to tell me what to do and that they didn't approve of what I was doing or what I didn't do. And I was like, oh my God, go away. I don't need that. But that can be a stigma that sticks with somebody who is the youngest, that no one ever views them as an adult. And I guess I can kind of understand that. I don't really see that with my nieces. Obviously, they're my nieces and they're younger, but growing up, I always wanted them to know that I valued their thoughts and opinions and that I acknowledged that there were things that they knew more about than I did because I never got that from anyone in my family. The general consensus was, you are younger, you don't know anything, you will never know more than we do because you're younger, so just be quiet. Just go over there and be quiet. That was kind of how I was treated by, these older members of my family who just never gave me any credit for being a real person, for being an adult, for having any knowledge or experience or expertise in anything. And, maybe you've had that experience. Maybe you were the youngest, or for whatever reason, you just never got the respect that you deserve. or just acknowledgement that you're an adult, you're a real person. And that's okay. You can step away from those people, or, if you have to see them on a regular basis, just, be pleasant and move on to other people who actually acknowledge your worth and the fact that you're a person and that your opinion matters and that you have an opinion and that you're allowed to express it and express emotions and be who you are in the world, and it's all okay. So I think that's the most important thing. Kids need to know that they matter, that they're smart, that they have a level of understanding. Even if you think they might not understand something and something big is going on in your life, or you want to share with them what's going on in the world, you can find a way to communicate that to help them get it at whatever level they are, whatever age they are. But they will grow up appreciating that they were communicated with honestly and openly and regularly. And I intend on treating my great niece this way too as she's growing up. I mean, right now she's still a baby. She's just a little over a year old, and so there's a lot of baby talk, and I call her Sweet Pea, so I like to sing the song, "Oh, Sweet Pea, won't you dance with me?" So I sing to her. But as she gets older, I'm just going to talk to her about how are you feeling? What's going on with you? What are you doing right now? What are you interested in? What are your thoughts and ideas and opinions? I mean, not obviously not when she's like 3, but as she grows older, I want to know what's on her mind. I want to give her credit for being a person and having her own thoughts and ideas and opinions, and that they are all valid and worth listening to, and that I hear them. You just need to let your kids know, I hear you, I see you, I hear you, and you matter. That's what everybody wants, but kids really, really need it. And I wish I'd gotten that more when I was younger. I know my family did the best that they could, and everybody's always doing the best that they can. But I think if you're a parent or you have kids in your life and you go forward with this consciousness, I think it's going to be really valuable for you and them. So just keep this in mind with any kids that are on it that you have in your life, and just really listen to them and really talk to them and communicate with them. They understand way more than you think they do, and just give them the credit for that and give them the benefit of the doubt that they will get it. And if they don't, you'll know, and you know when to kind of ease up on stuff, but really talk to them, please, please. And I want to thank you for listening to me talk and share all this. And yeah, wow, this was a big subject for me. So now I'm just kind of like, wow, it's been on my mind for a while, and my own mind is a little boggled right now. But aside from that, I just want to thank you for being here with me again this week and spending a few minutes. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe to my channel, and if you haven't already, and leave your comments below. I'm sure you guys might have some. Maybe you're in this position, or you have kids and you're trying to communicate with them as best you can. I always love reading what you have to say. And if you would like these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, tannamarshall.com, and join the mailing list. You'll get a little free gift from me and a message from me every Friday, along with these messages before anyone else gets them. So thank you for joining me. Please talk to your kids. If you are a kid, speak your mind. It's okay. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be seen and heard, and you matter. And that is the most important thing that anyone can know. So I see you. I hear you. You matter. And thank you for doing the same for me. Talk to you next time.